Yes, White Lotus creator and director Mike White put an implied incest scene in season 2. The two men turned out to be lying about their familial relation, then upped the ante in season 3 to a handjob between real brothers. But he does draw the line somewhere, a man killing himself, his wife, and his children, for example. As dark as we go in this show, that's too dark, White says. That's why Timothy Ratliff, Jason Isaacs, can't go through with his plan to poison his family in the season 3 finale, even though letting them live means they'll soon learn he's lost everything they have by getting caught in a money laundering scandal. You're showing the weaknesses of human behavior and how that can lead to deadly consequences. At the same time, there's hopefully enough empathetic humanism to offset all the acid. It's got enough of everything to be palatable, and yet, you still feel like you're doing something new. Timothy is partially based on French aristocrat Xavier Dupont de Ligons, who was plagued by debt and allegedly killed his wife, 4 children and 2 dogs in 2011 before disappearing. A producer pitched White on writing a show about the murders, and though he found the idea too depressing, he never stopped thinking about that family. I kept thinking about how someone could lose the plot and kill the thing that he loves the most. This idea of somebody wanting to protect his family from hardship and that they couldn't survive without all the creature comforts they're used to, White says. I started thinking it'd be interesting to have a guy realize this at the beginning of Vacation, so there's this public shaming that's going on back home, but they're ensconced in this paradise somewhere far away. White's thought was, well, that is so White Lotus. The Ratliff's phones are taken away upon their arrival at the Thailand outpost, but Timothy eventually wrangles his back and finds out that the FBI is investigating him. Dosed up on lorazepam he stole from his wife, Victoria Parker Posey, Timothy spends the rest of the season having visions of suicide, which broaden to murder-suicide as Victoria and their children inadvertently reveal how ill-prepared they are for poverty. It's not a fantasy, it's a plan, Isaacs says of the dream sequences. I mean, it's a drug-addled plan, but even if he wasn't taking the drugs, there is no way to avoid the stuff going on in his head, the terror of the abyss. Rather than Dupont de Ligons, Isaac's reference of choice was disgraced media mogul Robert Maxwell, who is now more famous for fraud, embezzlement, and being Ghislaine Maxwell's father than for any of his business successes. Though Maxwell's 1991 death by drowning was ruled an accident, Isaac sees it differently. He jumped off his yacht and killed himself rather than come onto land, and I thought about him a lot. I thought, it's not a bad choice for Tim. The only thing is, he starts roping in his wife when it becomes clear she can't cope. Then my son can't. Then, my jewel, my daughter. He's such an alpha male patriarch. His daughter has a special place in his heart, and when she comes and says, I'm a princess, I couldn't bear to be poor, there's a crushing disappointment knowing he has to kill her too. While visiting a monastery, a monk, Suthikayun, tells Timothy that death is like being a single water droplet falling back into the ocean, saying, no more suffering, one consciousness. Death is a happy return. Unsurprisingly, Timothy takes away the wrong message, deciding he can now justify his most depraved instincts. He's continually trying to find some other way, Isaac says. There's always someone to pay off, something to be done. And when there isn't, and the monk paints a picture of death that seems incredibly inviting to him, that makes it all right to kill. In their own ways, Victoria, Saxon, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Piper, Sarah Catherine Hook, all failed to prove to Timothy that they can handle a more humble life. So, in the finale, Timothy hatches a plan to blend the poisonous seeds of the resort's native pong-pong trees into piña coladas for his family to share, minus Lachlan, Sam Nivola, who isn't 21 and, crucially, is the only family member who passes Timothy's secret test and is deemed grounded enough to make it without wealth.